Hey everybody, it's Simon Cooney, and you are here for Gritting in the Lemons. On the mic is my husband John.
Hey guys.
So after doing the value study, I have been thinking about how do I want to lay this in, what's the easiest for me, what's the easiest for you, and what's going to give us the best final result. I think I have kind of a plan in place. So hopefully I don't have to refilm because it turns out I'm wrong.
All right.
All right, let's just jump on in because I got to teach another painting here in a second.
All right.
All right. So I've got my grid out. I've got my 8x8 surface. I've got my 8x8 grid. I don't know. I think it printed. It's so weird when you see the painting in it. It feels bigger, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They don't feel like they're the same size, but they are. I think it's just the quarter inch. And then every time I see it, I get really weirded out. So on here, I have some wishes. I think it's been really great, especially in the Acrylic April group, getting to see everyone talk about what they're going through. And what I think is wonderful to understand is that many people who are experiencing fear of failure, fear of not being able to complete the project, all these different worries and anxieties, is that it's universal. I even shared, my fears in the group just so that we can all just say, hey, it's anybody can go through it. We all have them, but we're not going to let it stop us. So that's been really great. And to that end, the wishes on this canvas are that everyone, and I mean like everyone, who's on an art journey finds support, love inside and outside. So what I mean by that is that while you're on the journey, I hope that more than becoming a significantly better artist, which you will from 30 days of painting, but I hope that inside you start to find that sense of self-love and self-acceptance around your creativity. More than painting something perfectly, feeling perfect about what you're painting, I think is a really important goal. And I just wish us all to, by the end of the month, be free from fear and on to our new fears. Like our old fears, I get that there's always a new fear, but our old fears will fly away. This is my husband listening to me. And my new fears will come in. My new fear, my husband thinks I'm kooky. No, he knows that already. So after thinking about this, I realized I had to have a light color underneath the lemons, and I've gone back and forth. Do I want to sketch this in and then paint around them, or what I want to do? And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint it in kind of all of a dark gray. Then I'm going to grit it, and then I'm going to go back and paint white where the lemons are going to be. And I might do that on the show so that everybody gets it. Because I think some people are having trouble finding the, don't you think?
Finding the color.
Finding us. They're having trouble finding it. So I put out yellow, but maybe I won't use it because I might just do gray and then grit in. We'll see how it's going to go.
Okay. We're going to stay frosty.
Stay frosty, my friends. Oh, look. This canvas is taking the paint much more willingly today.
Oh, that's good.
Same pack. I just like to point out that it's all from the same pack. I just wish I knew what was going on in all these different factories and locations. I know I would have much to say.
It's very strange.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because you've done that.
And you know what? We probably have to track things like which ones on the was that one that was double packed, or was that one that was only was it double wrapped or single wrapped?
Double wrap. This is a double wrapped one.
So, and that may have a different coating process than the ones.
Well, why would it have a different coating? Wouldn't they just make them all in one batch and then wrap them up?
Perhaps, but perhaps they came from a different batch. You know what I'm saying? So like all the ones that were single bagged came from one batch and they put in another room and then just mixed them with the other ones as they came in. So, I mean, we're wildly speculating here.
We are. You're just wildly speculating. Well, I paint a background gray.
We're trying to make sense in our brains of what is an illogical thing. Why one works and the next one doesn't.
I don't know. I feel like you're just making fun.
No.
I think you know.
What what I know is the production cycle is complex. It's
complicated, really? It feels like it's make a canvas, finish a canvas, package a canvas, ship a canvas.
If it were only that easy.
I mean, like maybe when I make them, I'll be like, oh, canvases are hard, like brushes.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those things that's complex. And just like all the other art supplies, it's one of the things, as the deeper you learn into it, the more you look into it, the more there is to learn.
I really like this gray. I think
I
that's what's
like that gray
happening to me
too.
here right now is I'm just like, oh, I really like this gray. Put out paint that I didn't need. Happens sometimes because maybe I will. Let's see how it goes. Now I'm going to dry this. John's going to talk to you guys.
Am I?
You don't just
Okay.
have to listen to my drawing. And then I'm going to grid the sucker out.
All right. So while she's doing that, I will remind everyone that you should, of course, dry your surface on the lowest air moving temperature only because it can cause color shift and things like that, which you might be able to see here. I had to adjust the cameras down a little earlier because everything was so bright, but I was kind of anticipating that we were going to be doing a lot of dark studies, so I kind of do that sometimes. Anyway, keep your air mover on the lowest temperature setting. That just helps protect it. Make sure that you say to your significant other or loved one how special they are, because they are, and it's good to pass that along.
What we doing?
Just making sure that we pass along the gratitudes to all of the significant others in our lives for all of the awesome stuff they do for us.
You are awesome. Were
Well,
you
you're
congratulating yourself?
Well, you're my significant other. I don't know how that worked into.
Oh, okay.
I was.
Wait, yes. Well, I don't really do anything great in your life. I just art. You do good stuff in my life, so that's why I assumed it was you.
Well, I have to say, I get the best curated art show in the world.
Because you curate it. I should tell them what I did there, huh?
Yes, what did you
Just
do?
in case this is the first one you've seen.
Chatty.
So what
yes.
I did, I chatty Cathy'd it. So I took my T-square, which is a measuring instrument, and every 2 inches I made a mark. So at 2 inches, 4 inches, and 6 inches, and I guess that's just almost 5 centimeters, just a bit bigger than 10 centimeters, and almost 15.5 centimeters. I'm just throwing it, going out to the metric that I don't do or understand. Because yeah, I grew up where inches, which everyone keeps telling me is an inferior measurement. But I'm like, I see all these little centimeters, and I'm like, I don't know. It's a lot of little centimeters, not so many inches. You know,
Oh yeah.
to each their own. I'm not building anything big today. I don't want to argue with architects. The architect.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Don't want to argue with the architect. I like this gray background. I said it before, but honestly, like, it's very velvety.
It does look velvety. I would say that's an accurate statement.
And I like it. I'm doing the same thing every 2 inches. And to the degree that you're trying to translate what you see here to the grid, it's important to be accurate with your measurement, but it's not important like measurements are on, say, a rocket that's going to space. That would be a place where measurements are significantly important. This is not that important, rocket engineers. You can relax for a second. Just generally measure out the space.
Approximation.
Approximations, which again, don't do those in rockets, right?
Well, depends on what you're going to do with the rocket, I guess.
Shoot it into space with people?
That's probably a precise activity.
It seems like it would be. All right.
Precision guidance required.
So how the gridding system kind of basically works is that instead of taking in a whole image in one big giant gulp and trying to sketch it out, you use each block as a zone that you're working in. And the zones allow you to think a little bit smaller, take in smaller information, and therefore be able to relate to it with a little more clarity. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So right here, where am I going to start? It's always interesting where to start because it really helps you finish. I think I'm going to start right here. It's my inclination. This lemon, his little body seems to be right here in the midway point. That's where he is. Then the bag seems to be right here. He comes down a little bit, but inside the bag some. Inside the bag some is this other little lemon. I don't know how little he is. Who's going to come up past this, over this little cross, and then come down. So once we have that, then we can wiggle the bag right there. So I'm just taking in this little segment, right? Not drawing everything. just the parts that I'm looking at. Now the bag circles down to about here. So I can easily kind of find a way to sketch that down. See how we do?
Yeah.
And then I can take this little fellow down to where he would be. I know that this comes down, curved out a little bit from that point. The bag coming across and almost angling down to here. And what's interesting is there's a really important little fold lip that I'm going to really try to capture if I can. If I can. I may not. We'll see how it goes. Now this lemon is entirely constrained within that square. Comes, I have to bring that down even more. Comes out here. And then right here. And then there's that really cool thing. The little lemon bump. My lovely lemon bump. So the bag is going to come out that way. And curve back into there. Ha ha! I have 2 lemons.
2 lemons.
2 lemons.
2 lemons diverged in a burlap bag.
2 lemons in a burlap bag. Now I'm going to take this little lemon right here.
A challenger
lemon.
appears. A new challenger appears.
And I'm going to give him a little, again, bump. I'm going to edit out this leaf. I think it's going to be visually problematic. Sometimes in art, you want to edit things out that are not contributing to the composition. See, I got to sketching and not paying attention. And that got me.
Did it get you?
Yeah. It did get me. And I think this one's actually got to come up some. And I've got this one comes through here. And then down here. And then we have this leaf right there. So a bunch of little leaves, theoretically. My bag comes right to here, so I bring that in. Oh, that's nice. Coming over here, he comes into the inside. It doesn't feel like it would, but it does. This wrinkle comes up. And then swoops around. So that's going to be an interesting little wrinkle. Bags and fabric and things, they can be really problematic to try to get a break right there. To draw and represent maybe the way that we would want. Midway point here, then back. And then that's kind of like that little curve. And then the background line for the whole piece seems to be, nope, below the bump. It's so good to check your grids. Check your grids. Make sure your grids are good. Make sure the grids are good. So this little lemon comes from here, kind of almost midway out to there. So, and then back to here. So sketching that around. I don't want to forget its little navel either. The wonderful thing about doing the lemons, down here, get the little lemon bottom out, is that even if you kind of have like some crazy lemonage going on, as Pauly Shore would say, lemonage, the grindage, the lemonage. Even if you
wow. Wow, the 90s just came up and smacked you in the back of the head. It was just like,
whatever.
Hello, Sherpa. Good morning.
I have no answers for that.
There was just a little Pauly Shore laying in the back of your head.
Dude, there's always a little Pauly Shore laying in the background for all of us from the 90s, isn't there? I'm going to sip my coffee now, Mr. Cooney.
Okay.
Before Brandon Fraser had a hairpiece. So, that was weird.
What is just like...
I have no problems with Brandon Fraser either. I really like him. I have no idea why I just did that.
He's like, see, I can just see him right now holding a brush going, why are you picking on me?
Oh my
Sherpa?
gosh, if you are, I don't see why you would be, but if you are,
Send
dude.
send a picture so I can
Just
forever
chalk it
have
up to
her.
that I suck, and I would hate to hurt anyone's feelings ever. Like sometimes I'm like, no one is watching it, and so I'll crack a dumb joke, and then I'll find out that that person is watching. There we go. There's that leaf, and that leaf has that really cool shadow. And then this one comes down and comes back. I definitely like this other weird little forward leaf touching. Weird little leaf, dude. Come here, weird little leaf. I'm gonna be those are gonna work me. I predict this now. What's gonna work me on this one? The leaves. That's what's gonna work me on this one. Not the bag. I'll work out the bag.
Is that because the perspectives?
Yeah, I think the perspectives on the leaves are gonna get me a little bit.
That makes sense.
But I feel like I've got this in. So what I think I'm gonna do is, now that I've got that basically mostly in. Well, I just dropped my chalk. I don't have to go fishing for it though. I'm gonna turn this around.
This one.
Okay, so lemons are sketched in. I'm ready for tomorrow. I think for the benefit of the class, I'm gonna go ahead and paint these white underneath, and I may even paint this a lighter color. But for sure, these I'm gonna put back white, and well, I think the leaves will be okay, but definitely the lemons. So if you want to go ahead and do that now, you can. I'm going to wait to demo it on the show so that people have a chance to see what it is. Remember, you can check the Facebook group for support and more information. Always check those descriptions. You can check the calendar to see what's coming up next, because we've got 30 days of this. Woohoo! Day 4! Day 4! Be good to yourself, be good to each other, and I will see you at the easel really soon. Bye-bye!
Bye.